Matrixx and Rhodes Show fans, we are back with another video, and we're going to be talking about Sebastian Stan. Now, for the last few years or so, there has been speculation that Sebastian Stan could actually play a young Luke Skywalker to replace Mark Hamill, who is 70 years old now. And it's been out there. And we saw how Luke was able to return in The Mandalorian Season 2 at the end. And it was glorious. It was very, very good for the fandom. Mark Hamill came back and played Luke Skywalker. They did some de-aging stuff. But still people were saying it did not look right. Now, for the most part, people didn't care. They were happy to see Luke return after what happened in the sequel trilogy, where they just completely destroyed the character. And today, folks, if you saw the Book of Boba Fett, why are they even still calling this show the Book of Boba Fett? I have no idea. But newsflash, Luke Skywalker returns again. And boy, I must say, they knocked it out the park with the way he looked. They really did. I mean, Luke Skywalker looked like just a tad bit different from the 1983 Return of the Jedi. It looked tremendous. Tremendous, because they hired the guy that did the deep fake stuff on YouTube. They hired a YouTuber to fix that. And that's one of the best moves that Lucasfilm has done. I will give them credit where credit is due. Luke Skywalker looked really, really good in the Book of Boba Fett. But that being said, guys, Sebastian Stan still wants to play young Luke Skywalker. Should this happen, folks, after you've seen the way Luke looked in the Book of Boba Fett. And you know what? He wasn't just standing around either. He was actually interacting with Grogu, flashbacks to Empire Strikes Back. He's still rocking the Return of the Jedi clothes. I mean, this is like 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Luke, you may need a wardrobe update. Just throwing it out there, Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni. But it was really good. It made you really believe that was Luke. Okay? Like a Mark Hamill Luke. And Mark Hamill did do the voice also for Luke. He was doing a stand-in. Didn't they do the deepfake stuff, you know? But Sebastian Stan still wants to play Luke here. Okay? Now, this came out yesterday before this episode of the Book of Boba Fett dropped. Okay? And apparently Sebastian Stan and Mark Hamill, they have a relationship. And it says here, Stan has continuously expressed openness to playing the famed Jedi should the opportunity rise. He recently sat down with Esquire to talk Pam and Tommy, as well as react to headlines and memes about himself. When the Luke Skywalker question arose again, Stan said, quote, "Look, it's really kind. Never say never. Mark Hamill is my father, you know, and he knows that. And I call him every Christmas to tell him, just want you to know I'm around. It's really terrifying." And there is somewhat of a resemblance between Sebastian Stan and Mark Hamill. But if you watch this episode of the Book of Boba Fett, they clearly do not need Sebastian Stan to play Luke. They can have Mark Hamill do the stand-in, and then they can use the deep fake guy, and you still get the Mark Hamill Luke Skywalker. He still has the voice. The voice was spot on. It really is. I don't want Luke to kind of turn into the way that Alden Ehrenreich was with Solo. That wasn't Han Solo. Okay? Didn't look like Han, didn't sound like Han. And there's speculation that Han Solo could end up coming back in the next episode of the Book of Boba Fett. And if Han does come back, I don't think there's any way in the world they would actually have an Alden Ehrenreich Han Solo. I believe that if Han does come back, it will be Harrison Ford deep fake. Harrison Ford as a stand-in, Harrison Ford doing the voice, and they're going to use the same technology. I mean, this was so spot on. Guys, look at this. This is from the last episode of the Book of Boba Fett, and it was so great to see Ahsoka and Luke interacting with each other, so they do know each other. Something is telling me also that you're going to see Mark Hamill return in the Ahsoka show, and it'll probably explain how they actually do meet each other. Because in this episode, they just already know each other. She's on the same planet, and that planet is the same planet from The Force Falls Asleep. So, man, it terrifies me to say this, but all roads are still leading down to the path of The Force Falls Asleep, The Trash Jedi, and The Rise of Palpatine, where Luke is a quitter. Boy, they have to rectify that. I mean, if it takes the world between worlds, just go ahead and do it. Just retcon the sequels. Probably not going to happen. It's not going to happen, folks. But the point of this video, though, like I said, is Luke. This looks like Luke. This is probably some of the best de-aging technology we've ever seen. And Disney, who actually owns Lucasfilm, remember, they also owned the Tron series. They made Tron Legacy, where you actually had Flynn. That was de-aging technology. That was the early stages of it. Did not look quite right. I believe it was good enough for the time. You know, you're talking about that's 2009. But look how far they have come in a year since Luke showed up in The Mandalorian versus now in the Book of Boba Fett. They don't need Sebastian Stan. Honestly, guys, I don't want to see Sebastian Stan. I don't. I mean, Mark Hamill, he's getting older now. Now, he's pretty crazy. Don't like his politics, but he's still Luke at the end of the day. He's still Luke. So take that out of the mix. You can do this with Mark Hamill for as long as he wants to go out there and act, because this looks amazing. This looks really, really good. And I believe that Filoni and Favreau are trying to do everything they can to rectify what was done in the sequels. Now, for some reason, guys, they can't get Boba Fett right whatsoever. They can get the Mandalorian right, and so far they have done a tremendous job with Luke, and they have really tied it into the prequels, bringing in Ahsoka. She says that line about you, so much like your father. I loved it. It was fantastic. But Filoni and Favreau can't do anything right with the Boba Fett. But they got Luke right. They got the Mandalorian right. Hopefully the Ahsoka series is good. Hopefully the Obi-Wan series is good too. Still waiting to see a Force Ghost, Hayden Christensen, Anakin to be alongside a young Luke and Ahsoka. That would be really good. But overall, guys, I don't want to see Sebastian Stan. This technology has improved so much. I actually thought that was really Mark Hamill just time travel back in time and brought him to the future, Back to the Future style. It looked that good. So don't really want to see Sebastian Stan. He's great in the MCU, but at this point, you really don't need him anymore. You really don't. The technology is so good, man. They may be able to bring back Bruce Lee with this technology because it looks tremendous. Bring back Charlton Heston. You know, make a Planet of the Apes movie again, because I love his Planet of the Apes movie. You never know. But that's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Matrixx and Rhodes Show fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you next time.